Well, hello there everybody, my name is Bargzal and welcome to a new Heroes of the Storm video. Been a long time, but as there is the new patch that came out, there's the Storm League format that is finally underway, I decided to make a video on Hanzo. So sit down, check out my gameplay, and listen to my sumptuous voice and how to get better with Hanzo in Heroes of the Storm. Now, for those who don't know, lore-wise, Hanzo comes from Overwatch and is the brother of Genji. His abilities are exactly replicated in Heroes of the Storm. Knowing all this, let me introduce you to the first ability that Hanzo boasts. It's called Storm Bow. A pretty easy ability to comprehend. All you have to do is pull back on the string of that bow. The charge duration doesn't impact on the damage that will do, but it does alter the range. In contrast, his second basic ability is very hard to understand, to grasp, and also to use. Scout Arrow requires a wall or a structure for it to bounce off of. As soon as it hits one of these, it will then ricochet and go into 5 separate directions. Just a little side note, this will pierce all enemies except enemy heroes, and as soon as you enter in contact with a wall or structure, it will bounce off and deal damage to all enemies. Moving on with his E ability, which is called Sonic Arrow, this balances Hanzo out a little bit so that he doesn't rely himself too much on his damage. As soon as a Sonic Arrow lands, it reveals a large area, and I find this is even more important in Heroes of the Storm with bushes hiding places than it is in Overwatch. However, his kit wouldn't be completely broken without the addition of his trait, which is called Natural Agility, because thanks to this he can now jump over terrain, adding a lot of mobility for Hanzo, ways for him to escape enemies, and ultimately making him a very versatile character to play. Now, before I showcase my builds, I just want to talk to you about the two ultimate / heroic abilities. The less used but more lore-friendly ability that you should take is Dragon Strike. You launch a wave of your little dragons that you love so much, and they just deal damage to enemy heroes, not to minions nor structures. However, looks can be deceiving because this isn't as good as it seems, and the better one is actually to take Dragon's Arrow. Not only is the cooldown lower than his other counterpart, this ability is probably one of the best ones in the game. You launch this massive arrow that deals damage based on the distance between you and your target. If you're successful at making contact with an enemy hero, this person will be stunned, and all his allies that are in the close vicinity will be stunned too. Therefore, in conclusion, unless you have an ETC or a comp that really helps you use your Dragon Strike, most of the time, 9 out of 10, you're going to have to take Dragon's Arrow. Furthermore, a very critical step in Storm League and Unranked is the draft process. Facing opponents such as Abathur really messes up the completion of a quest that you can take at level 1, which is rightly named Target Practice. All you have to do is hit all enemy heroes at least once so that you can increase the range, and as soon as you've hit all 5 of them 3 times each, you'll be able to increase the damage as well. Hence, if you see that this quest is going to be really complicated to finish, you're going to have to take this other one, which is going to be based on your Scatter Arrow ability. Ending this quest will reward you with a burst of 7 arrows instead of 5. But how do you finish this is the question. It's an extremely peculiar mechanism. You have to at least have 2 arrows or more to hit the same hero in one fell swoop. For that reason, it is best suited against tanks when they have people like Johanna, Diablo, people who take a lot of space, and where this is easier to do. You have to do this a total of 20 times so that you can get the reward. Moving on now with level 4, where the choice will be based on the level 1 quest that you took. The first one is Explosive Arrows. It was nerfed a few patches ago. It is pretty strong still to this day. What this does is it adds area damage around the Storm Bow impact area. But based on the map you're on, especially those where the objective is against minions, monsters, basically non-hero enemies, picking serrated arrows will give you a slight advantage on your enemies, as you'll be able to deal more damage to non-heroes. So throughout my time playing Heroes of the Storm, experimenting new ways to play Hanzo, I've sort of encountered an impasse on this level 7. My humble beginnings pushed me to use the talent which is called Dragon Hungers, and the Storm Bow grants spell power whenever you hit people. As ranked seasons went by, my experience helped me gather up a little bit of skill, and I was then pushed to go for Never Outmatched. The latter adds a new useful functionality. Whenever you do a basic auto attack, the cooldown of Scatter Arrow will be highly reduced. Since setting my focus back onto Hanzo just for this video, I've gradually gone back to Dragon's Hungers. Therefore, it all becomes a bit convoluted, so just take the talent you want, test them out, and you'll see, based on your gameplay and your style, which one is the best for you. No point in me going back to the level 10 choice, I've already given you my opinion on that. But then at level 13 we have a talent which is called Mounted Archery. All it does is adds a bonus to your trait. When you use it, you'll be mounted and you'll gain additional movement speed. Subsequently at level 16, in similar fashion, one talent trumps them all, and this is called Piercing Arrows. Extremely straightforward, your Q and W abilities pierce the first enemy it comes in contact with. Finally, here we are with the ultimate talent to choose from. Only 2 of them are really reasonable, both being upgrades of the aforementioned heroic abilities. That means of course that player of the game is the go-to talent at level 20. This adds enormous mobility potential because you'll be able to reactivate Dragon's Arrow and teleport to the arrow that is in motion. In the rare case that you took Dragon Strikes, you're going to go for the upgrade which is called the Dragon Awakens. From here on out, all your damage abilities and attacks will reduce the Dragon Strike cooldown. This is great if they're like 2 tanks or maybe more, because hitting them is going to be way easier to do. This finishes off our build very nicely indeed, and we're nearing the end of the video, and all I want you to do is, if you can, comment down below any ways for me to improve my videos in general. The sole purpose of these types of videos is to entertain, have fun, maybe help you out in builds, and you can help me out in the comment section as well. However, before I wrap this all up, I just wanted to address the Heroes of the Storm community. I know we've been facing a few problems here and there, especially with the esports scene that is fading away, but if we just stick together, maybe this game still has potential and a future. But I hope you just have a beautiful night or day. Name is Bogs, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!